Hello, Reformers, as I get hit for 20 damage. Yes, already, very good. Okay, well, I am going to be doing my very best here to buff our units. There we go, they're buffed, and now we can hopefully get a couple of, extra clan rats to help us out here. And we're going to be telling our infantry and cavalry to charge straight on in. Now, if we can, I would like to get some kills. I'd like to get some kills. I'd like to try and utilize my amazing weapon as much as I can. I was actually thinking, maybe what I could do is actually get this weapon or another weapon like it for one of our companions. I think that would be really awesome. Maybe we can have that happen in the future. I don't know though, because most of our companions right now really don't have the most amazing stats. The only one that is really high in stats is Katya, and that's only because she is our medic. So yeah, otherwise, what's currently going on right here is we are in a battle with Phoenix King Finubar or something along those lines. And yes, I actually attempted to cast that at the wrong time, but that's alright. It's okay. It's only got a 30-second cooldown, and I'm going to be using Blessing of Filth very, very soon anyway. And let's see if I can maybe do a little bit of extra damage here. Let's tell our people just to charge straight on in, actually. I think that might make more sense, although we are having a huge amount of cavalry coming in here. So that is obviously going to be a bit of a problem. But let's see if I can maybe do something here. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of white lions here. A lot of white lions. Maybe we can survive it. Yeah, it seems like we're surviving pretty nicely. Let's tell everyone to charge in, shall we? Let's tell everyone to charge in, see what we can do. And otherwise, I think we are pretty good. Yeah, I actually dodged. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I haven't done anything about the armor crisis at the moment, so I haven't really swapped out my armor just yet. But I'm thinking we're definitely, we're definitely going to do it. If I can find the Skaven Merchant again, or maybe just go back to Skaven territory in general, then I think we'll probably have a pretty good selection of gear to choose from. And now bear in mind that this sword does have a thrusting ability, does have quite a bit of thrusting damage, but, well, I don't know why you'd want to use that, because the slashing and the swing is actually more piercing damage than the thrust. So yeah, generally it's much better to slash as much as you can. Anyway, there's 16 renown and 22 morale, and maybe we can get a little bit. Oh wow, there's only 93 kills right there. And we have another charge of High Elves coming in here, and we're going to see what we can do. I've already summoned a bunch of rats from Vermintide, thank you very much, and hopefully our Globadiers will be able to do something to thin the front lines of the opponent here, because, well, they do seem to be charging at us with, well, some pretty well, strong units, and hopefully we'll be able to sustain their attack and then retaliate for devastating effect. And yeah, there's actually a reason why I'm attacking this guy. I didn't have to. He was not wanting to attack us, of course, but the main reason why I'm doing this is because the nearby fief that we want to take, the town, of course, is, well, it's not reinforced. It's not reinforced by any vassals, and he was heading in there. And so I thought, okay, what's the better way of dealing with this? Is it better to attack him on the field, or is it better to allow him to go into the garrison? Personally, I feel it is better to tackle him on the field, as we are doing, as it probably would result in quite a few casualties if we allowed him to get in there. It's one of those times, it's one of those times where you just have to make a hard choice, and, well, either one I didn't really want to do, as I say, but I do want to make inroads, shall we say. I want to get in to the territory on the High Elf Island and try to make the most of it, really. Okay, so we have Wither. I am going to be using Wither for the last couple of units here, and that is hopefully going to result in many more kills being done for us. Did I just get hit by some magic? Or did I get hit by an arrow of some kind? I don't have a huge amount of magic resistance, so generally I am going to take a lot of damage from magical spells. And speaking of magical spells, there might be something coming up relatively soon, and I'm not going to say anything more than that, because that's just how it is. Anyway, let's go on, and we'll see what we can do here. 100, another 100 taken out. Okay, there's only 67 remaining. This is going to be easy. Okay, so we have entered the town once more. This is the town that we attempted to siege in the previous episode, and we're going to finish this up very quickly right now. Now, if I can get my units up there, then I think we'll be in a really good position. Obviously, I'm going to put my globes outside, even if they do take a couple of casualties as a result. I feel like it is just kind of necessary. Even though they are taking quite a lot of damage right now, I feel like getting a couple of bombs off with the Globadiers is going to make so much difference. Even if they don't actually kill anything, weakening the opponent's defenses is kind of important at the moment. And I really wish I had my gun right now. I did not equip my gun before heading in here, but it's okay. It's alright. We don't really have to worry too much about that. Is there an invisible wall here? Yeah, there is. I was actually thinking, do I have the opportunity to jump all the way from the siege tower structure all the way over to the battlements? Turns out no, I probably don't. But is there an invisible wall here as well? Yeah, I think there's an invisible wall on the outside of the bridge too, so we have no chance to fall off here, which is, I suppose, pretty decent, considering, you know, we might actually get stuck or something. But yeah, oh well, never mind. I guess I just have to move forward and make my presence known. There we go. Hello there. I am now here. Let's get to slaughtering. And a bunch of my Chaos Trolls are actually taking some damage here as well, which is not exactly great. Let's tell everyone to charge, actually. It's probably about time that everyone charges in. We've already eliminated about 50-something units, and, well, seems like we're losing quite a few high-tier, pretty bulky units as well. We're losing Dark Ogre Lead Belchers, and we're losing a couple of others as well. Anyway, I am out of potions as well. I am out of potions, so it is going to be taking a bit of a toll on me if I do decide to do a couple of field battles and I get myself killed or damaged relatively a lot. Then it's going to be a slightly longer recharge or recovery time in between battles, which is not great, so I'm going to have to do something about that, I think. I will probably have to try and find a potion seller or something, but obviously not right now, because we do have something very important to do, and that is, of course, to try and take this, which we are probably going to be able to do quite simply. I mean, you know, it's going pretty well so far, and then we will be going over to the Tower of Hoeth, which is the castle nearby. And hopefully we will be able to take that. Oh my, this is not good. Hello, let me get out my shield real quick. Make sure that I'm not getting shot by absolutely every archer in existence. And otherwise... Oh, hello. What are you doing, Jezzail? That Jezzail literally has a musket out. He has his rifle out, and he's like, yeah, shoot me. He's like, I don't care if you shoot me or anything. Wow, there you go. Well, there you go. That's... Oh, am I stuck? Yes. I think I was actually stuck there. I was a bit too brazen. I was a bit too brazen, a bit too eager to get in there. Oh, well, never mind. This is indeed a victory this time around. We didn't need to worry too much about that. It was kind of simple to take this, because they only had a very small contingent remaining, only about 150 or so units. Well, this is certainly an interesting position to be in, because this wall right here is so incredibly large. I don't exactly know where the main force of the enemy is. They seem to be all over the place. There's a couple of people over there on the very far left, and then we have a number of people on the far right as well, and a couple in the middle too. So we are going to have to do something to, well, eliminate them all. That's what we need to do. So I guess we'll just tell our cavalry and infantry to charge in while we leave a couple of ranged units outside, just in case a, well, bigger group, I suppose you could say, do tend to gather together, and maybe our globes will be able to actually hit a couple of things. As you can see, most of them are actually held back in the middle here. They're not actually standing at the very edge, so that is making everything so much more difficult for us. But thankfully most of these are high elf sentinels and hawkeyes, and they are not very good, you know. They're not going to be very powerful in melee combat, and us coming up here with demon slayers, rat ogres, storm vermin, and Eshin assassins, no one is going to be able to hold up against all of those. So hopefully we'll be able to get in here, and then I will be able to tell our ranged, which I am actually telling them to do now, to get up the ladder and see if they can assist us with eliminating more of the enemies. Look at this. This is a castle. Just so you know, this is actually a castle. It's not a town, but the sheer scope of it is that of a town. And someone on the mod team loves the High Elves by the looks of things, because they are getting some really nice treatment right here with all the models and the environments and everything. It's just pretty crazy. Anyway, that is pretty cool. Anyway, I do have my gun. I have my gun equipped, so let's see if I can do a little bit of damage with that. It's been a while since we've actually used our gun, so we might as well, you know, try and make the best of it. And I'm actually kind of hoping that we don't need to do too many more field battles, because I do want to take Lothern in this episode. If we can make it, then I would like to be able to do that. But obviously, it is a big town. It's probably going to have a huge amount of vassals inside it. I don't know whether we'll really be able to do it, really, basically. So let's see if we can. Okay, come on, guys. I'm actually unsure what to do here. I guess we'll get our Jezzails down here, and we'll move our globes a little bit closer as well. Don't really want them running into melee, but I assume they probably have run out of globes, so they probably will need to go into melee if they are actually going to do any damage. Which is basically the main reason why I really do like and appreciate engineers as well as Jezzails, because those guys, they're not going to run out of ammunition very fast. They're going to be able to continue producing damage over a long period of time, in comparison to the Globadiers, which can't really do that. Anyway, there are only about 190 units here, so it should be a pretty easy thing. They are respawning in some rather easy to kill groups, so I suppose we don't need to worry too much. Anyway, just going to tell everyone to charge once again. Doesn't seem like our formations are really giving us any benefit whatsoever. They don't seem to be well, they are probably preventing them from dying, I suppose, but other than that, they're not really resulting in that much offense. So I guess we'll just sell them? No, I guess we'll just send them in and tell them to kill as many people as possible. And even if we do lose a couple of Globadiers, it's alright. It's not a problem. I'm probably going to actually be leveling a couple of those Globadiers. Oh, look, there's a Rat Ogre all the way in the distance. He's getting a bunch of kills. Oh, we like it. We like it. We like that kind of initiative in Clan Cheese, yes. In Clan Cheese, we love that initiative. Especially considering, you know, the search for cheese never ends, does it? Anyway, let's see if we can eliminate all of these ourselves. Where's all my people, by the way? They're running away? Are you serious? Did you see that? Why are they all over there? Is there a unit stuck in the environment or something? I have no clue. Oh well, never mind. I guess what I will do is just stay around here and see if I can, you know, kill a couple of people myself. There's only 20 units remaining, and I guess it's going to be a bit of a, well, high elf hunt. I was going to say treasure hunt, but it's not really a treasure hunt, because we don't really treasure the high elves that much, do we? The one problem I'm having here, though, is the fact that I am getting murdered by archers, and this is super weird, though. I actually have a decent amount. Do I have anything in shield? I actually don't think I have any skill points in shield, so that might be the reason why my shield is not protecting me as much as it could. It is also not a full-size shield. It's medium, I believe, or medium-large. It's not really going to protect every bit of my character, unfortunately. So Slythe is gonna get a bit Swiss cheese here. He's already been shot multiple times. I mean, you can kind of see that his shield has only taken, what, 4 arrows? I think his body has probably taken more arrows than his shield has. So yeah. Anyway, still 9 enemies remaining. I'm gonna try and track them down. Ah, it looks as though I have found a couple of enemies here, and it seems like there's only 4 remaining. And maybe... Oh, yeah, there's one down. Can I kill the other one? Yes, I can. Very nice. Okay, so that means there are only 2 enemies remaining. Is that Katya over there? Yeah, by the way, Katya just now got a triple kill. Yes, a triple kill. And she is a medic. She doesn't have that great combat skills. Her firearm skill is the highest proficiency she has. And look! She's killing people in melee. She's killing people in melee without any problems whatsoever. Look at that. That is basically... That is a pentakill right there. That's a pentakill, because she got 5 kills. That is kind of amazing. Okay, so yeah. very nice indeed. She did a great job. 193, and we did lose a couple, but, well, that is to be expected. Anyway, I'm just going to try and rescue as many good units as possible. I have actually been taking quite a few Dark Elf units, because the High Elves have obviously been attacking and being attacked by the Dark Elves quite a lot. So I've been attempting to take as many good ones as I can get my hands on, and I think I can take a couple more as well. Alright, so we have a siege tower on our hands here. We're not actually up against the garrison at Lothern just yet, and there's a very good reason why that is. As soon as I began the siege there, a vassal with about 260 units came out of nowhere and basically reinforced the garrison with that number, and unfortunately that means that I don't really want to go in there. There's already a number of vassals in there, so they basically have about, I'd say about 800 to 900 units in the garrison right now, thanks to that reinforcement. And I was actually thinking, yeah, I think this is probably doable before that. But now, not so much. Anyway, we are going to be going in here. This is a random castle that I basically selected literally just because there are no vassals in the garrison here. So it is going to make things a little bit simpler for us. And as you can maybe see by my ammunition count at the moment, I've been firing away, not getting that many kills though. Not getting that many kills because the High Elves have been extremely good at preventing themselves from taking damage from my gun for the most part. And these battlements are giving them exceptional cover, absolutely fantastic cover for them. Anyway, I'm actually going to just jump down here because it feels to me like now that I have this weapon, I am a lot more effective in melee combat than I am at range, which is kind of amazing because initially Slythe was a firearm user, and that was generally how he got his kills, how he got his experience and everything. But nowadays it's seemingly a lot easier for him to just run in with his wonderful two-handed sword and do the massive damage that he needs to do, and you know, try and eliminate these high elf nobles as quickly as possible. Now, this particular castle has 233 or 213, I don't know, something along those lines, and they're, well, they're pretty high tier. You can see that they're actually running around with dragon princes of Calador, and they have white lions and all kinds of things. But they do not have too many shadow walkers, which is exactly the reason why it's being pretty simple for us at the moment. And we are just swarming them. We are swarming them exactly how the Skaven should be. We are just swarming every single thing in sight. And, well, our search for cheese is never ending. And I believe that is indeed it. Yes, there's just this one remaining reinforcement wave from the enemy, and, well, they are stuck because they're all in melee combat with archers. They all have archers, and they're all, well, all in melee, and they're not really able to do that much. So this is going to be our first castle, apart from the Tower of Hoeth, that we've taken on the left side of the High Elf Island. And personally, I don't really mind that. I feel like it is not a great tactical choice, or a strategic one even. And, well, it's just because it was necessary. There was basically nowhere else that I could go without any vassals being in the garrison. So, yeah, unfortunately I had to make a brief change of plan. But hopefully I will be able to head back to Lothern at some point and connect the dots. Alright, I got pretty lucky right there. I was just about to get engaged upon, or at the very least, get this vassal to reinforce the garrison, which is not great. Now, thankfully, he didn't. He didn't have the opportunity to do that, and we are now in another castle. This is the palace of the Everqueen, so we can assume that this is probably going to be one of those which is maybe going to give us some problems. But anyway, let's see if I can get my formations up and running, and then maybe I can see my globes get a couple of kill sprees right here. I'd very much appreciate it, that's for sure, because, well, let's face it, there are many, many units here. There's 230 in the garrison, and we're going to take a look at the map after this as well, because I'd like to show you what's actually going on with where I have ventured into High Elf territory and everything. I'm doing a reasonable job at avoiding most of the enemy vassals, but most of them do appear to be taking cover in the various fiefs that I am attempting to take, and I guess I don't blame them. I mean, let's face it, we have been a pretty harsh attacker so far. We have basically taken, well, everything that we have tried to take. And the only thing that has been a little bit difficult has been the first town. Everything else has been taken in one fell swoop, no problems whatsoever, with the exception of obviously losing a couple of units here and there. But the amazing thing about these... Why am I being shot from everywhere? Wait a minute. Oh. Okay. Never mind. There's actually a huge amount of archers in the courtyard down there. Okay, I'm going to need to do something about those guys. Anyway, as I was saying, the main problem that we're having... Well, actually no. The biggest boon that we are getting here by attacking the High Elves is that they have so many high-level Dark Elf units in their garrisons, in their prisoner towers and so on and so forth, and I've basically been able to gain about 20 Nagaroth assassins literally just from rescuing prisoners, which is insane in my opinion, because I think that is probably the best unit that you can probably get. I think so, from the Dark Elves. I think apart from Dread Knights or what are they called now? I can't quite remember the highest tier of cavalry that they have, but as far as I'm aware, Nagaroth assassins are really quite effective anyway, so it doesn't even matter whether, you know, whether you can get like high tier cavalry or whatever, because I'm pretty happy with these assassins. They're just doing so much work, and I am actually being, you know, pretty easily ambushed here. Unfortunately, I can't use any magic, and I can't use any of my healing potions or anything. Thankfully, my ward save was doing a pretty decent job there, but it seems I overextended a little bit too much. Where are my people? Did I lose all my people? I somehow doubt it, because I wasn't seeing many of my people. Oh, my bad. My bad. Tactically, that was a big blunder on my part. Should have told everyone to charge in, didn't I? Oh, yes, I forgot. Well, I suppose it's kind of good that we did actually retreat there because, well, strategically, it does make it a lot easier for our Globadiers to get those kills, you know, get those initial group kills that they usually do. And obviously, it does make it a little bit easier because I'm alive again. So I guess that's alright. But yeah, that's definitely something I need to watch out for in future. Sometimes when I'm talking, you know, I'm going to forget some things. You know me, I do tend to forget about, for example, showing you tags. I have shown you tags in the series. Eventually, after about, what, 5 to 10 episodes of me forgetting every single time? But yeah, anyway, I eventually do remember those things. But anyway, the point is that, yeah, when you're talking and commentating and stuff like that, it is kind of difficult to remember some things that you are wanting to show, and there's an invisible wall here. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, there's only about 15 enemies remaining, and they will be soon eliminated. Alright, so there it is, a victory for us, and yeah, there was actually 96 still remaining. I actually thought that we eliminated many more on the first siege attempt, but apparently not. Anyway, as you can see, look at this. 4 Nagaroth assassins. How many actually do I have? Let's just take a quick look here. I have 25, yeah, exactly. 25 of those guys, that's pretty insane. Yeah, Dreadmasters are the cavalry that I have been taking, and otherwise I've just been attempting to try and find the highest tier unit. I have not really taken a look at the Dark Elves in quite some time, so I do tend to forget which ones are really, really good and which ones are not. Oh, they do have some sorceresses here. I might want to do something about that. Let me get that one in my army. And we do have a bunch of death hags as well, which might make sense. I mean, you can see here they actually level up into dread witches, which I think could be pretty fun. So let me see if I can get rid of something. I don't really want to get rid of these Corsair captains and so on, because they are kind of thematic, but they're not really helping us out that much in comparison. I guess we could get rid of the Master Molders and things like that, because Master Molders do come with polearms, but that's basically it, so I guess we'll just get rid of a couple of those, and then we will get the Death Hags, and I guess we could get a couple of other things. What else do we want? That's the thing. I guess Nagaroth Shades and so on, I guess that's fine. Anyway, let's move on. And I'll show you the map in just a second. I've actually been giving a couple of people... Actually, amusingly enough, I've been giving the Dark Elf vassals that I have, Corvas and Nerthan, I've been giving them the majority of the the fiefs in this area, because I think that's kind of fitting. So yeah, we're going to go with that, and we're going to see what's happening here. So you can see already that we took these 2 fiefs right here. I went down to Lothern, took a look what's going on. Not really that good. This over here is defended like nothing else, as well as this. So I then went on to the Palace of the Everqueen, and I think now would be a good time to take a look at the town nearby, because I think we might be able to take that. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Oh yeah, that is looking really good. Look at that. Only 444, no vassals in sight. I think this is definitely our next target. And with that, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.